Everybody. I'm going to jump right into it. This video is about how I healed from parasites and H. pylori naturally. This was pretty an amazing story slash testimony. I'm going to try, excuse me. I want to try to make it quick. I want to tell you about what led me to get a diagnosis, what the detoxification process looked like for me, and like the regimen, remedies my naturopathic doctor had me take, and how I feel now. And so initially I started off with my primary care physician, and at that time I was receiving abnormal tests. For instance, I was losing nutrients. I was losing potassium. That was the first red flag for me because I have never just lost nutrients for no reason. And so that kind of was alarming for me. But of course, my doctor wasn't too concerned. He just wanted to put me on potassium pills. So me being like the detective I am, I ended up doing additional research, and I was looking for reasons as to why I could be losing potassium, and what I found didn't really apply to me, so I didn't really have any answers. Fast forward, I began having heart palpitations all the time, pretty scary stuff, and didn't know why. I didn't think it was due to anxiety or anything like that, so I ended up having EKGs done. I did receive like one abnormal EKG, and then after that 2 normal EKGs. So once I received the normal ones, my doctor was no longer concerned. However, in the back of my mind, I'm like, why did I have an abnormal EKG? Why am I having heart palpitations? I don't have any answers. You see where I'm going with this? So the next symptom I was having was bruising. I was bruising everywhere, and I was not injuring myself. So I went again to the doctor. Doctor was not concerned about me bruising. They thought maybe I might be getting hit or running into things and just didn't remember and stuff like that. And it was really frustrating for me because I know that I was not injuring myself. And I actually went to 2 doctors in the same practice about the bruising, but they were not concerned about it. So at this point, I was starting to get a little scared because, the bruising was alarming to me, especially not knowing what was going on. I was also having short of breathness symptoms, and I was extremely fatigued, extremely exhausted. And so at this point, I was starting to get very worried. And as you know, there can be a list of reasons why you might have the shortness of breath symptoms. And the fatigue. I would be so fatigued, I would have to come home and just take a nap before I even could start on any tasks at my house or take care of my family. I had to take a nap. I was so fatigued, like a crazy kind of fatigue. And so that was concerning. So, I hate to say this, but I was not helped by my primary care physician, so I ended up not going to him anymore. However, I did start to go to a GI and liver doctor, which was a blessing, because the GI and liver doctor was able to order me testing. So I'm gonna continue to share with you all the symptoms I was having in case anyone else is having these symptoms. You can kind of inquire further, and maybe you can go the same route I did. Hopefully you won't have to. But the next symptoms I was experiencing was a lot of digestive issues, horrible stomach aches, a lot of like acid reflux symptoms, stomach aches so bad. Like, I will wake up in the morning sometimes and like almost go to the hospital because I was in so much pain. I guess it was from undigested food. And then I was experiencing like your typical IBS symptoms and a lot of stomach issues run in my family. So I'm thinking, maybe this is genetic. I don't know. Let me go to a GI doctor because there's a lot of stomach issues that go on in my family. So I went to the GI doctor, and thank God he did take my symptoms seriously. At the end of the at the end of my visits with the GI doctor, I still didn't have any answers, and I'm going to explain to you why. But I'm still very thankful that I went to him because I still, like, the hardest part with these providers is getting them to order you a test. So at least if you have your test, you can kind of start filtering and eliminating out like what could be going on that's wrong. So GI doctor ordered me an upper GI endoscopy. That came out negative. All my results, all my tests came out negative. So negative for H. pylori. Usually when you go see a GI doctor and you get the endoscopy, they test you for H. pylori, gluten sensitivity, celiac. All of those came back negative. However, I did show mild to moderate inflammation in my stomach, so I was diagnosed with gastritis. But again, I had no answers. And so I started digging a little bit more, and most people who have gastritis, it's due to what I came to find out was H. pylori. But my test for H. pylori showed negative. So, at this point, I'm like, God, what is going on? I'm having all these symptoms. Don't know what's wrong with me. My symptoms are getting worse. I'm sick all the time. I'm feeling sick all the time. I'm too tired to do anything. Lord help. And so, I started praying and praying and praying hard. I prayed for God to show me and show me the right provider to go to and lead me to the right provider who would be able to help me and to give me some answers. And I also, at this time, was going on like healing conferences where like the atmosphere was an atmosphere of healing, miracles, signs, wonders, like all that type of stuff. So, during this whole process, I was going to get prayers for healing in my body, and all of that kind of stuff. So, I actually was being treated by a chiropractor slash naturopathic doctor who is actually treating me from a shoulder and neck injury I had sustained in a motor vehicle accident about 2 years ago. So I'm actually still being treated for that, and I just happened to open my mouth up one day while I was there because I figured, they deal with the whole body, so maybe they can help me out. I don't know. Let me just tell them my symptoms. If you know when you go, you just have to give a list of symptoms and things that's wrong with your body. So I thought, what the heck? Let me ask my chiropractor. So thank God I did, because the moment I opened up my mouth to my chiropractor, who was sent from God to heal me, he's like an angel. Like, I love him. I will be forever grateful for his care and for just being a help to me. So I told him about my symptoms, told him about the testing I had, how everything turned out negative, how I was still having all these symptoms in my GI tract. And so he said, well, let's do this. Let's order you an allergy test and let's order you a stool test, because sometimes things can hide out in your stool. And I said, okay, great. So, gross test, but it gave me all the answers that I needed. And that's where I found out I had a whole list of things going on. So I'm going to tell you about those things. And we're at 10 minutes now. So I'm going to cut this video and make a part 2, possibly a part 3.